This is Baja SAE Shop Talk, the official podcast of the Baja SAE series.
Welcome everybody to this episode of Baja SAE Shop Talk. We're here today with Trent Lundblom, who is the organizer for Baja SAE Kansas. We'll be heading there in just a few short days, and we're excited to come back. We were there last year. We'll be there again this year, and then hopefully we're giving Trent a break for next year. Trent, I wanted to hit on, because your event was just last year, there's a couple of updates that I want to make sure teams are aware of. Last year, we obviously had some inclement weather and we had to act very quickly. One of the changes that we have this year is the Baja SAE app, so we'll be able to communicate to students a little better, but I know that your team has reviewed what happened last year and has made some changes to the process this year. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
The changes that we have made, we're still going to use the Kansas Technology Center as our severe weather location to retreat to. However, we've made it easier for the buses and made communication with the buses, so they will all have radios and know what's going on if we need to evacuate. And so what we're asking teams is to take personal items, but any tools and things, leave where they're at. No one will bother them. And find the nearest bus and get to the Kansas Technology Center. And then once at the KTC, if we do have severe weather, they will be instructed to the locations within the building that are considered our storm shelters. We had a lot of students sitting near glass and things like that last year, and so we want to try to avoid that. Hopefully we don't have the problem at all, but this is our storm weather season in Kansas, so we just need to be prepared for that.
What's the forecast looking like for this year, Trent, at this point?
The extended forecast is showing rain, not severe weather, but rain.
One of the effects of having that sort of rain, it affects your paddocking situation. So last year we decided to stay over on the pavement. Will we be doing that again this year with the rain expected?
Yes, we will. Matter of fact, it rained last night, so it takes weeks for our paddock area to dry out to where we could actually drive into it. And so our fear, even if we were dry, and we got rain while the vehicles were in that field, that everybody would be stuck. So our plans are to go with our wet weather paddocks this year.
Okay, great. So are we going to, and it's a little bit spread out, is there going to be any process for bringing students in, bringing trailers in to make sure that everything goes smoothly?
Yes. We've changed some things from last year. We're asking all the students to pre-stage in the Kansas Technology parking lot. They need to come in off of the Ford Street entrance, which is 909 East Ford, Pittsburgh, Kansas, 66762. If they're using a GPS, we'll stop them, and then we're going to have lanes with cones. So our attempt is to line them up as they arrive, but we're trying to get all of the trucks and trailers off of the main streets, and then we'll send them 2 by 2 down, and there'll be volunteers helping them paddock, and then they'll be issued a cone with a number to put near their paddock areas that will correspond to. We'll make maps after that, and then it'll correspond for recovery crew and things like that. So we'll know where all the teams are. So we will be recording the team name, their car number, and their paddock number before we send them to the main paddock areas. So pre-staging, again, is in the Kansas Technology Center. I did make one mistake in the entry or the welcome letter. When they come in on the Ford entrance, I said make a right, and that was a mistake. We're going to try to cone it off. They need to go to the left around the west side of the building, and then it should be fairly self-explanatory from there. We'll have plenty of workers. We're asking people not to show up before 6 a.m., but historically they do. So.
Yeah, that is a main road right there. So if you do show up.
Yeah, we've had accidents in the past with the trucks and trailers being on the road, so we're going to try to get everybody off the road and pre-stage in our parking lot, and then we can go safely to the main paddocks.
Awesome. And then teams will be back in that area for a sales presentation?
Yes, sales presentation will be, the location is at the entrance of that building. We call it the flagpole entrance. That's where all of our flags are. It's the main entrance to the Kansas Technology Center, and it's located on the map with a yellow star.
One of the cool things about your event is that the university is so involved. So there's a couple things that the university takes on. One are the T-shirts. Your event is a little bit unique in that you sell your own T-shirt. Do you want to talk a little bit about how students can get a hold of that?
Yeah, we do produce our own T-shirts in-house, and we're currently doing online sales. We're going to extend those online sales through Sunday, through this Sunday, so they can get a discount if they'll go online and order their shirts and pay for their shirts online. Taxes included on there. I think it's small through XL or $13 online. Double XL is $15, and then we will also have some on site for a little extra money, $2 per shirt each, until we run out. But we were hoping to get as many pre-orders so that we know what to print, since we are printing them basically on demand.
And then where will students be able to pick those shirts up on site?
If they order online, the shirts will be at registration. As they come through the registration line, they'll pick up their welcome packets, and then we will have their T-shirts in bundles with the schools. All they'll have to do is show us that we'll have a list of who's paid, and we'll give them their shirts in bundles per school. And then we'll also be pre-selling them at that table as well. And we're also talking about if they forgot or did not get online and pre-buy their shirts, then we may be selling shirts while they're waiting in line in the pre-staging. But again, that's at an additional cost, $2 per shirt. So we're trying to give them an incentive to go online so we know how many to print.
The city of Pittsburgh really embraces this event. I know Sam appreciates showing everyone back at the SAE offices. Photos from one of the Baja events were on the cover of the phone book for Pittsburgh, Kansas. So there's a couple of things that happen for your event that are unique. One is Baja's on Broadway, and I know this is an event that not only do teams love, but the volunteers, the tech inspectors, staff, we all love going down to the main street there in Pittsburgh. Any changes to that event this year?
They're expanding it. At least that's what they're telling me. We will have the events will be open to the public, and we're publicizing that in the paper from 7 to 9 on Thursday the 17th. We will have a police escort again and do a parade like we did. So we'll be lining up for those that wish to participate with their trucks and trailers. If they have trucks and can put their Baja vehicle in the back of the truck without taking their entire trailer, that would be great. Some do, some don't. But anyway, we're going to we'll pre-stage at 6, start getting all lined up, and then we'll have a police escort down to the downtown area, and we'll set up for the car show. And there'll be multiple food trucks, food vendors. There's a couple restaurants down there that serve food, and so there'll be plenty of food and beverage and a live band. They're telling me again this year. So they're trying to even expand it even more. So it really is a neat opportunity for not only the students, but our community members to come out and meet the teams and see what they've worked on for an entire year. And it's something that we started, I guess, in 2014, and somebody mentioned it, and I thought it was a crazy idea, but it really has turned out to be a neat event. So it's something to do on Thursday night and get the students involved and the community as well.
One of the things that students really appreciate for your event is that the meals that your local sponsors show up and support for this event are memorable, I would say. So I know the awards banquet we're still getting fried chicken.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have, according to, historically, we're the chicken eater's paradise in southeast Kansas. So we have lots of chicken houses. But yeah, we'll have a complete chicken dinner, and there will also be vegetarian options for all those meals. I've recorded most of the students have been diligent in sending in whether they need vegetarian options. But yeah, we'll have lunch on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the banquet on Sunday, and that's all free of charge to the students. And that was sponsored by Honda, Caterpillar, Crawford County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the city of Pittsburgh.
I'm sure the students really appreciate hearing that. Let's move on to something else they really want to know about. Dynamic events. So we have, at your event, we have sled pull, suspension, maneuverability, and acceleration. Any changes to any of those events this year?
We've modified the courses a little bit. We've changed our egress so it'll be easier to get in and out of maneuverability. The sled pull is probably the biggest thing that has changed. Last year we tried to run it on dirt and it was inconsistent, and so we wanted to make it more consistent, so we modified our sled, and the sled pull is actually going to be adjacent to brake check, and so it will actually be near the paddock areas. So the other events will be out on our main site, but the sled pull will be run on that asphalt. Endurance, we've modified the course where we had problems last year. We've widened some areas that we had narrowed. We've added a few obstacles. We've removed our pits, so we no longer have pits. We've filled all those in. Everything should be above grade, so we don't have much. Well, we'll have water if it rains, but not a lot. We tried to modify the course in every area that we had to bypass last year. And there's been a few obstacles added, but
I want to wrap up with the live broadcast. This is something else the university takes on, and they do a really great job. This is something that students really love sending back to their supporters back at home. We've asked that students complete a survey that gives the color commentators some information about their university so they can use it on the broadcast. Do we plan on doing the broadcast for both days this year?
Correct. Yeah, we'll broadcast on all dynamic days, Saturday and Sunday. That was another thing I wanted to mention. We're not getting very much feedback on the online color commentary survey, and the more information we can collect beforehand, that helps us when we're preparing for the event. So if students would go on and do that prior to coming to the event, that would help. We're pretty proud of our live video stream. Not only is it produced by students in our broadcasting program, but we were the first ones to do this, and it's evolved over time, and it's fun to see other events doing it as well. But yeah, we will have the live video stream on all dynamic days, all day Saturday, and the entire endurance event. As of now, and I don't think it'll change, the website to log in for that is pittstate.tv, which is pittstate.tv.
Awesome. We'll make sure we get that on the app as well. Speaking of which, students, if you haven't downloaded the Baja SAE app, it's available now in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. We had amazing feedback from Maryland, and we also rolled it out at other CDS competitions. Lots of love for it. It's definitely a game changer. We have been making sure we're pushing information out on that. And once we get on site, it becomes even more valuable. You can follow your team's dynamic results, that sort of thing, coming in on push notifications. So make sure you download that before you get to competition. Trent, anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
Just a couple things. One, spectator and team parking. We'll have room in the paddocks for one vehicle, either it's a tow vehicle or one additional vehicle with their main rig. Extra parking will be in the Kansas Technology Center. On Saturday and Sunday, we'll have buses running all day long. Multiple buses stopping at all different bus stops, including the paddocks. So they'll be coming through the paddock areas as well. So due to the distance from the paddocks to the main dynamic events, the students can take advantage of catching a bus if they're not needing to walk with their team. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible, I guess, for the students due to the fact that we do have a distance from the paddocks to the main dynamic areas.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll see you in a few days. Teams, make sure you're checking the news feed for any changes. Make sure you fill out your survey for the dynamic events, for the broadcast, and buy your t-shirts. Yep, buy your t-shirts. All right, Trent, we'll see you in a few days.
Thanks for listening to Baja SAE Shop Talk. As always, we want to hear from you, so email bajasae@sae.org. The show notes for this episode, as well as all others, can be found at www.bajasae.net/podcast. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next episode.